In the classroom, we have some phenomenal faculty. One of the things that I didn't mention when I was talking about DC is that being so close to DC really attracts some of the best and brightest faculty around. Some of our faculty include Pulitzer Prize winners, Nobel laureates, and members of national academies. They're frequently quoted in research as experts in their field, and they definitely know what they're talking about as they're lecturing in the classroom. We want to make sure that all of our students have access to the professors, and we do, although we are a large institution, we do value small class sizes. So although you might think University of Maryland, 30,000 undergraduate students, very big, we are very big, but we actually have an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which might be a little bit smaller than you were expecting. Very few of our classes have over 100 students. So while we do have those like larger lecture classes that you might be thinking about, less than 10% of those classes are actually over 100 students in those larger classes. All of those lectures will break down into smaller discussion groups for you to meet with throughout the week, to engage in discussion, to ask questions, to talk to your peers and get to know your professor a little bit better. But 66%, or about 2/3 of our classes, are actually 30 students or fewer. About 40% are 20 students or fewer. We also have a ton of resources on campus for our students to use. We understand that having up-to-date learning and research facilities is paramount to your success, not just in undergraduate, but in preparing for after undergraduate life. A couple ones that we mentioned as for example, we have a wind tunnel that can simulate up to Hurricane 3 wind speeds. And we also have a neutral buoyancy pool that can simulate zero gravity, just to name a few of our learning facilities available to our students. As much as being in the classroom is important and you get a lot out of it, we also understand that not all the best learning happens in the classroom, and definitely not all learning happens in the classroom. We want to make sure that our students are available and exposed to having research and internship opportunities. Our President Pines is actually committed to having all our students who are interested in doing research, if they would like, as we are an R1 institution. So earlier I mentioned D1, which most of you might be familiar with, and that means that we are Division I for athletics within the NCAA. R1, it's not affiliated with any one specific program or organization. It means, however, that we have a very high level of student research happening on campus, and we're very proud of that. Internships, same thing. We want our students to intern on campus. You can do so with faculty off campus, again, taking advantage of having both Washington, D.C. and Baltimore City very close and accessible with or without a car. Education abroad, we do encourage our students to go abroad if that is something they are interested in. We have over 400 different programs. Those programs can be short-term during the winter or summer. They can also be a little bit longer term, as in a semester or even year-round, depending on what you're looking for. We also have our Office of Community Engagement and Service, and they are there to help connect students with service opportunities in the community, and then living and learning programs. We are nationally recognized for our living and learning programs. And these are programs that you would be invited to as long as you apply by the early action. It does not guarantee that you would be invited to a living and learning program if you submit your application by the November 1st early action deadline. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. However, if you do apply by then, you will automatically be considered for an invitation to one of them. To mention a couple, we have our honors program. Our honors program allows students to start taking honors courses, and they would be able to choose one of 8 different programs available to them based on their academic interests. We also have College Park Scholars, which is one of the most innovative living and learning programs in the country. Scholars has 12 programs for students to choose from, some of which include media, self, and society. There are also ones related to government and politics, to technology. So although they might not be directly tied to your major of interest or field of interest, there's definitely something for everyone there. We also have Civicus for students who are interested in civil engagement, and BioFire, which is for students who are interested in the biological sciences, biochemistry, chemistry, and neuroscience. Again, just to name a few. So we've talked a lot about our students, different things that they're involved in on campus, our classes, our faculty. But our students are a very diverse group of people. As I mentioned earlier, over 47% of our undergraduate population identifies as students of color. We also have a very large Jewish presence on campus, and we have over 4,000 international students representing over 110 different countries on campus. So definitely lots of diverse perspectives, both in and out of the classroom, because that ties into that outside of the classroom learning, although it can bleed into the classroom. But we are committed to providing our students with a variety of different perspectives, many of which may differ from their own, in order to broaden the lens through which they are tackling different things. Although we do not have any pre-professional majors, we do have pre-professional advising, so pre-med, pre-law, pre-vet, etc. For our students who are interested in those professional programs, you'd be able to pick a major, any major of your choice, and still receive that pre-professional advising on the side to make sure that you get the courses that you still need to get into in an appropriate timeline in order to have them under your belt by the time you graduate and then potentially go off to graduate school. They do help with preparing for those graduate school programs, as well as finding graduate school if you are struggling with choosing one. Our University Career Center, I mentioned research and internships a bit earlier, as well as jobs, and our Career Center does a very great job of connecting our students to different opportunities, again, both on and off campus. One such example of this is a weekly newsletter students can sign up for that delivers weekly opportunities on a weekly basis directly to your email. One of the really wonderful things about the University of Maryland is, of course, you'll come to campus, you will get into a community, you'll meet friends, you'll connect with your professors. And although that experience is not necessarily unique to the University of Maryland, what happens after is you become one of nearly 400,000 Terps living around the world. So wherever you go, whatever you do, you will have a support network to reach out to and tap into. As a current student, one of the ways that our current students like to take advantage of our alumni association is reaching out and saying, hey, can you connect me to an alumni who is in this career field? Because I want to know they're there. What steps did they take? What steps can I take? And how can I move forward in getting to where I want to go? Some notable alumni include Sergey Brin, who's the co-founder of Google. We also have Kevin Plank, who is the founder and former CEO of Under Armour. We have Jim Henson right back here sitting with Kermit. He's the creator of The Muppets, and tons of other very famous and notable alumni to our name.